Everybody, welcome back to the next episode of Dialing In for Amplitube 5, and today I am taking a look at an amp model that I was really excited about when Amplitube 5 was first released. I don't know if many of you remember, but when Amplitube 5 was released, they had this beautiful package of Marshall amps included with Amplitube 5, the JCM 900, JCM 800, Marshall Major, I believe. I think they even had the old JMP1 preamp in there, and I was impressed with the sound of all of them. And one of my favorites has been the Brit 8000, which is a model of the famous JCM 800. And today we're going to try and see if we can't dial in a great Marshall tone out of this. I happen to think this is probably one of the best Marshall amp models that we have in Amplitube. Along those lines, I also will have this preset that we make today available at my website for download for free. And I also have the Brit 8000 Ultimate Preset Pack, which is going to be this preset along with some other presets of various different gain levels and full effects packages as well. So I'm going to have a demo video for you later in the video of how this particular preset, along with some of the other ones from the Brit 8000 Ultimate Preset Pack sound. And if you like that, you can go grab it at the links below in the description, either the free preset or the full-blown package. But without further ado, let's get right into the Brit 8000 model and we'll see what we can do with it and hopefully get a killer tone for you guys to download. So here we are over in Amplitube 5, and you'll notice I have nothing other than the Brit 8000 model. We'll come back and take a look at the amp settings in just a moment, but let's go through our whole signal chain. You'll notice if I start at the end, I do have my normal little, what I like to call mastering section that I put in, which is almost always the White 2A or the LA 2A studio compressor, and I have that only ever set to just kiss the sound a little bit, give maybe half a dB to a dB, maybe a tiny bit more of gain reduction depending on how hard we're digging in. And I just find that that gives a nice glue to the sound. I also have the EQ81, the Neve style equalizer. This is based off the Neve 1081. And how I have that set is I have a low cut of 100 Hertz, a high cut of 12 kilohertz. All the frequencies as a shelf EQ above 4,700 Hertz, I actually cut by 1.5 dB to get rid of some of that maybe excessive brightness that we can have with this amp. I also have a bell curve at 390 Hertz, and that's cut by 1.5 dB as well. And I have a shelf EQ with all the frequencies below 100 boosted by 2 dB to give it some oomph on the bottom. But we're going to turn that all off now. We'll come over to our speaker cab, and you'll notice that I'm using the stock cab that comes up with it, the 412 Brit 8000, and it is loaded with these particular Brit 80 speakers. It says the Brit 80 was issued from the 70s to the early mid-80s. It offers a super balanced, clean sound with no emphasis. It seems there's a little typo here. I'm believing that's supposed to be emphasis on any frequencies. This cab worked beautifully. I really liked what it was doing. Coming over to the microphones I used, you'll notice I did something a little different here. I went with one microphone and one microphone only, other than the room mics, that is. I do have this Condenser 87 on here, but you'll see it's muted. So I do have the Royer R121 or the Ribbon 121 at a 45-degree angle. That's just set at 0 dB. All of the tone is coming from that. And the placement on the actual speaker cab is slightly off axis and pulled back just a little bit, as you can see right here. I really liked what that was doing to the tone. I also have a little bit of room mic in here at minus 20 dB. The room I'm using is the large studio, and I have the pair of Condenser 87s on there. And as I mentioned, that's coming in around minus 20 dB. If we go back to the head, here we have the sensitivity setting on high. I have my presence, my bass, my middle, my treble all cranked to 10. I guess actually the treble is at 9.9. So there you go. I didn't even realize that, but no big deal either way. Master is at 6.5 and preamp is at 4.9. So that's basically the settings we have. If I turn off the room mic, and keep in mind, I don't have my little mastering section at the end. This is what this raw sound sounds like. kind of drying in your face. Now let's bring that room sound in. You can hear how it just adds a little something here. Just so it doesn't sound so dry and direct. So that's the bulk of the sound until we come over to this little mastering section here. I'm going to turn that on. I'll turn the EQ off. Let's see what the LA2A is doing here. You'll notice the compressor is barely moving. We'll see if it changes when we put the EQ in here. So now this is the sound with the full mastering section, EQ81. You'll notice I'm still only getting about a dB of gain reduction. If I turn that off, the LA2A, it's going to sound louder just because I didn't adjust the output for these to match, because I always have this on anyways. I just like the little bit of squish that actually adds to the sound. So if I turn that whole mastering section off, we have this. Maybe a little bit muddy and tubby in the bottom end, which could be problematic in a mix. And that's our final tone. So how does that tone sound in the mix, mixed in with a couple other tones from my full Brit 8000 Ultimate preset pack? As I mentioned, it's available at the link below in the description from my website. But you can also just download the free preset that we just created here together and grab that, and you can build off that for your own uses. I hope you really liked it. But this is how these all sound together in a mix. All right, what'd you guys think? I hope you enjoyed that. I actually wrote that little piece of music for another JCM 800 preset pack I put together for the Line 6 Helix that's available at the Line 6 Marketplace, and I just kind of reamped all of the tracks right through Amplitube 5, and the tones are very different from Helix to Amplitube, but I liked both of them, and they both were very usable and sounded great as far as I was concerned. So I hope you guys liked that. So again, head over to my website, click the links below, download whichever preset suits you the best, and I really hope you enjoy that. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like the video, share it with anybody who you think would get some use or enjoyment out of watching it. And also please subscribe to the channel and hit the little bell notification to get notified when I put new content out. I'll be back really soon with some more. Thank you guys again so much for sharing your time with me. Ciao for now.